And this is her first time giving the message, but not the first time at our virtual physical podiums. She has given so many amazing meditations. And if you participated in her meditations, you know she will move us to celebrate life as source. So Jean, take it away. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you, Nil. Thank you so much. I know our technology is sometimes playing with us, so we'll see how this goes. But good morning to everyone. I'm Jean Gay, a licensed practitioner here at CTCSL, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to speak with you this morning as I share my thoughts and my experiences of this year's theme, Living Out Loud. This week's topic is, as Nil had said, celebrating life as source. But what is living out loud, and how do we celebrate life as source? Our home office at CSL has a visioning team that comes up with the theme for all of the centers for the upcoming year. And Living Out Loud is our theme for 2023. And I think it's a good one. In Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote, "It is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it." We are here on earth not simply to learn these principles, but to put our belief and energy into practice. What is new is the idea of embodying this teaching with a playful attitude. We can know our principles, we can timidly apply them, or we can stand up and dance, play, and live our principles out loud, unafraid to be seen. How do we celebrate life as source? We prepare ourselves to surrender into our life and into this year. What if we were to surrender to source entirely? When we surrender our fears, our doubts, we free ourselves to live out loud in celebration, where every day becomes a day to celebrate the simplicity and beauty of life itself. Okay, maybe that'll help. Okay, we all have experiences in life. And with these experiences, we can have a shift as we recognize our truth. For with every adventure we have, we are growing. We are growing with every experience, adventure, situation that we come into. I know my video is a little bit off. Doing this, I'll try to turn it off and turn it on again. Maybe that will help. We'll see. Okay. Okay, as we've all had experiences, I've had an experience these last few weeks that I would like to share with you. Okay, I'm going to stop my video for a minute here. Let's see if this calms down. Okay. Yes, I would like to share my story, my experience. As some of you may know, I became sick over the Christmas holiday with the flu, which resulted with inner ear infections in both ears, causing hearing loss. Yes, I lost my hearing. I could not hear for a couple weeks. It was quite an experience. So with the severe pain in my ears, I contacted my doctor for an appointment. When I called her, I told her I had flu-like symptoms, and because of this, she thought I might have COVID, and I would not be allowed to come into her office. Now what? She sent me to urgent care to get tested for COVID, which, by the way, I did not have, and to be seen by a doctor who tried clearing the ears but was unsuccessful. When I left, I started my car, but I could not even hear the engine running. I had no hearing. I was in a world of complete silence. Now what? When I got back home, we had family who were visiting. I could not hear or participate in the conversation. I was in a silent world. A silent world. I had never been here before. Is this what it feels like to be deaf and to feel excluded, even around family? I couldn't communicate. I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear what was being said. I did not appreciate my hearing until it was gone. So it was holiday time. It was hard to get out to see another doctor. So I had to wait. Nothing was open or available. So after New Year's, I went to the ER at a small hospital in Guilford. And after a 5-hour wait, I saw a doctor who tried cleaning the ears, but again, unsuccessful. They tried to get me an appointment with an ENT doctor, ears, nose, and throat. But there were no openings. They couldn't find any appointments until February. February, this is the beginning of January. What am I to do? Now what? Why was this so hard? And what am I to learn from this? The next day, I decided to go to the ER at Middlesex Hospital. And there I had a great doctor, a doctor who finally, he tried cleaning the ears, unsuccessful, but he gave me a prescription for an antibiotic. And he himself got on the phone to get me an appointment with an ENT doctor. Got me an appointment for 10 o'clock the next morning. Finally, I'm moving forward. I have someplace to go to get help for this. I drove to the appointment with Paul, my partner, but we could not find the medical building. It was a huge complex of hospital and medical offices, and it was pouring rain. The parking lot was filled with cars, but no people walking around, no one to ask. So I asked God, why does everything have to be so hard? As soon as I said that, I saw a police car in the parking lot. So I went over to ask the officer if she knew where this office was. She looked at the address and made a phone call. Remember, I still had no hearing, so communication was difficult. We walked across the parking lot in the pouring rain, into the building, past the receptionist, and then she took me on the elevator to the second floor and walked me to the doctor's office. She did not leave until I was safely inside. And I got there 5 minutes before my appointment time. Now, if that isn't God in action, I don't know what is. When I met with the doctor, I could feel the wisdom of God in her. She was my angel. She proceeded to clean the ears and give me a hearing test. I could hardly hear any of the big beeps on the hearing test. And then she had questions to ask me. I could not hear her, so she had to type the questions on the computer screen for me to see. She told me the plan. She had a plan. Wow. Okay. She told me the plan is to continue with the antibiotics and take steroids for the inner ear infection. I asked, when would I get my hearing back? And she said, maybe 3 weeks. No guarantees. No guarantees? What did that mean? I might not get my hearing back at all? I normally would refuse to take antibiotics and steroids, but I trusted this doctor, so I agreed. And I went home, and I had peace because I had a plan. I had a plan moving forward, and I had a doctor that I trusted. Now, where was my faith during this entire experience? At first, I thought of my life as a deaf person, not being able to hear, never being able to hear again. Is that why I learned sign language so many years ago, to prepare for this? That I would be deaf later on in life? Oh, no, I have to get this thought out of my head right now. So I used the 5-second rule, which is by Mel Robbins, has a 5-second rule to change your thought. So I did this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I thought a new thought. I know the power in our thoughts, and I know this teaching. Then I reached out to my practitioner for a word of wisdom to help me get through this. I couldn't text her because I couldn't hear on the phone. And she told me to set an intention. An intention. My intention was this: for wholeness and my hearing being completely restored now. At this point, I would have been happy with partial hearing restored. When she said complete, I realized, why would I ask for anything less? Every night, I speak this intention, affirmation, before I go to bed. I turned it into a mantra. So I said it many times during my meditation time before I went to bed at night. And I kept this affirmation on my bedstand, which I was going to show it to you, but I'm not sure if you can see, but that was it. Maybe the video's back. I don't know. Maybe not. So every night I spoke this intention. And every day my hearing started to improve a little at a time. This is the value of having a practitioner that you could call for times like this. She was reminding me not to let negative thoughts cloud my thinking, to remember my wholeness. In my world of silence, I had time to go within, to find that divine presence that was within me. It was always there, and it was there now. I was not alone. I began to realize this was an experience that I will learn from and grow from. What am I to learn from this? To appreciate what I take for granted? To take time to be still, removed from the busyness of everyday life? To look at the world with a different perspective? To listen to what was not being said? Yes, all of these and more. My creative thoughts came to me during this time, especially at 4:30 in the morning when I could not sleep. When in silence, without distractions, God's voice is loud and clear. As I surrendered to Source during this experience, I felt a deeper connection with this presence. I felt everything was working out for my highest good. No worries, no fears, not letting any negative thoughts disturb me. Ernest Holmes said, "A realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of man." And that's found in Science of Mind, page 145. When we realize the presence of God, when we accept this as our truth, nothing is impossible. To bring us to this place of awareness, we release old beliefs, set intentions, and allow the goodness of God to flow to us. Setting intentions for what we want in life, and always with gratitude for what we already have. Only expressing what you want to see, to experience, and the rest will be taken care of. Set an intention for wholeness, like I did. Wholeness in my hearing, in my body. Wholeness, not partial hearing. Wholeness, complete healing. An intention for wholeness in mind, body, and spirit. Set your intention to experience love and joyful relationships. And when it comes to time and money, say yes to the infinite flow of spirit in all areas of your life. We are all experiencing life in different ways. And as we surrender into our life and into this year, there are challenges and there are joys. As we surrender, let us see the challenges as opportunities to grow. Let us release any fears and worries and know that God has our back in every situation. As we remember this divine essence, we take our rightful place by taking personal responsibility for our actions while extending generosity and compassion to others. As we deepen our faith, knowing our truth, we can deepen our practice for the benefit and enrichment of the whole of humanity. Every day becomes a day to celebrate the simplicity and beauty of life itself. So, where am I today? I am healing. I have hearing. I can hear. Not 100%, not just yet, but it's coming. And I am so grateful to have this hearing, to be able to speak on the phone, to be able to hear the voice on the computer without putting my ear right up to the speaker, like I had been doing. So I am in a good place right now. And I continue with my affirmations also. That's my story. We all have a story. And telling our story for the world to see shows that this teaching really does work. This is living out loud. Celebrate with me. I can hear. And I am moving forward with life and everything it brings. Let us all celebrate life today with song and with dance and with the excitement of life and all of life's whatever it brings. Speaking of dance, our center has a dance event coming up February 18th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the DeKoven House in Middletown. Info on this is in the newsletter, and Nild also had mentioned it in the announcements. This would be a great time for all of us to come together to play, to dance, as we practice living out loud. So I thank you for listening to my story, and I believe it is time for a spiritual mind treatment. Sorry about the video, but how things are, but that's okay. That just meant you were to close your eyes and listen to me speak instead of watching me speak. And I have learned not to be disturbed when things don't go perfectly as planned. I think you could still hear me, and I think my message got out, and that's what's important.